The Seekers.
Well, you know, I've always been fascinated with archaeology. I remember in the 7th grade, a teacher came in and told us about this pyramid that he had discovered and showed us pictures of it and brought in artifacts. And I remember thinking, gosh, you know, ancient history has such a hold for me. So I decided that someday I would write a story about archaeology, and that was the nemesis or the beginning of The Seekers. The Seekers is a bit of a departure for me because it is an action adventure and it does involve 4 different main characters that I have to develop. And it was a bit of a challenge based on my previous works, Return to Treasure Island and Jesse James' Secret. But I dug into it, I enjoyed it. It took me about 2 years to finish, and I'm very, very happy with the way it's turned out. Ancient archaeological sites around the world have always held a fascination for me. You know, I've wondered, what are the pyramids doing in Egypt really? What about Machu Picchu and Easter Island? Are they somehow connected? Do they somehow relate to each other? Is there some message that our ancient ancestors wanted to leave us? So that really was the basis of The Seekers, where 4 individual people go around the world searching these ancient sites, trying to figure out, is there a message? Is there something our ancestors were trying to tell us? And if so, what is it? In exploring the characters, I found that I was having a great time writing them. They were fantastic characters, new, quirky, and in a sense, quite a departure from anything that I've done before. So I enjoyed writing it, and I really think that there's a ring of authenticity in the characters mixed in with the reality of the ancient sites they go and visit. The Seekers was a departure for me from my previous books, Return to Treasure Island and Jesse James' Secret, because it is totally a fiction-based story. However, it's seeped in real archaeological sites. In other words, the sites around the world that they visit are real. The characters are fictional. So in that sense, I really had to do a lot of research and find out what it is these sites might or might not mean. It is a very fascinating journey, and I enjoyed it totally. Since I did originally plan The Seekers as a television show, I had more stories than I knew what to do with. So what I decided to do was to create the Seeker novelization as a 10-part series, writing about 1 book a year. This is the first book in the series, The Lost Tomb of Alexander's. And I feel like I've set up the characters and set up the adventure to where people are going to want to read all of the books. I think it came out a lot better than it would have in a television show because I get to explore the characters. I get to go into their thoughts, into their feelings, into their interactions in a much more detailed way than we ever could have done on a television show. Writing The Seekers was much different than my previous 2 books, Return to Treasure Island and Jesse James' Secret. Return to Treasure Island was a sequel to the original book and written in first person. Jesse James' Secret was written again in first person, but in another voice. Whereas in The Seekers, I'm writing in omniscient voice, and I have to take into consideration all of the characters and all of the action. It was a very big challenge, but I really enjoyed doing it, and I think the readers will enjoy it too.
The Seekers.